Reese. Remember to please raise your hand and identify your name and affiliation. In the back.
Hey, Reese. Hunter Mandela, Bleacher Report. What would you say is the worst tradition in college football?
The worst tradition?
Yeah, the one that annoys you the most.
I mean, I'm not really sure. I don't know many other traditions than Auburn, so
I mean, like when you're going to a stadium, like if you go to Tennessee or Alabama, LSU, like which one really bothers you? Like fight song?
Oh, I mean, Rocky Top's pretty annoying after a while, but I mean, I kind of like that song too. It's got a good vibe, but I mean, I don't know. Everyone always talks about that, but I mean, I don't really have, you know, a dislike to any of them. I think they're all pretty cool.
Up front, Leah.
Hey, Reese. Chris Price, WBRZ in Baton Rouge. What do you think is the biggest challenge of you guys trying to repeat as SEC champions this year?
I mean, obviously each game's going to be challenging. You know, we just got to go out there each and every day and get better, and that starts here in a couple of weeks with camp, and you know, just take it one game at a time, and you know, hope things fall our way.
Hey, Reese, Jacques Doucet, WAFB-TV in Baton Rouge. Can you talk about how the LSU game last year was kind of a turning point, despite the fact it was a loss, and then hosting them this year on the Plains?
Yeah, last year, I mean, that was, you know, a big game. I think it was raining. It was a night game at LSU. That's always pretty fun, you know, rolling up in that place. So, I mean, it was, you know, good that, you know, we got down, and I think that was, you know, really the first time that we had kind of been in somewhat of a similar situation to the year before. And, you know, we were able to, you know, react and fight back and, you know, show that, you know, we had heart, you know, at the end of the day. And I think that, you know, that was a big thing for us. And, I mean, obviously this year they come to us, and, you know, that's a big game each and every year. And I'm sure it'll be a big game again this year. I'm not, you know, we got to focus on beating Arkansas first. So, I mean, I think we play them a little later, so that'll be interesting.
Hey, Reese. Steve Nissom, WEAR-TV, Pensacola. Last year at this time, you were coming off a very rough season, and you guys obviously used that motivation well. How different is it now coming off the kind of season you had where you were SEC champion coming in, kind of your mentality? Is it different? Do you have to think a little bit differently or use different motivation?
I mean, obviously, you know, it's a new day. I mean, you can somewhat use falling 13 seconds short, you know, as motivation. You know, you weren't able to complete the ultimate task and goal that, you know, is at the end of the tunnel. So, I mean, obviously you can use that as motivation, but I think at the end of the day, it's a, you know, a new season, and, you know, we play in the best league, and you're going to have to be ready to, you know, take on the, you know, the monsters in this conference. And I think that's, you know, you get motivated the same way.
Reese, Sheldon Haygood, Fox 6 out of Birmingham. No question, quarterback gets a lot of the spotlight and notoriety. And when Nick had his trouble this past weekend, what was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was, dang, you know, that's, you know, obviously not what you know, expect to, you know, see happen. And, I mean, you're just, you know, wondering what was going on, I guess.
I'm Vanessa Casal with Bleacher Report. Reese, what was the craziest thing that you saw after that Iron Bowl win?
After the game, I mean, I was just trying to get out of there. It was a madhouse. I mean, I almost had to walk up the stadium steps and go outside. But, I mean, it was just crazy. I was actually trying to find some of my buddies that played for Alabama, so, I mean, I didn't get stuck in the middle of it, but, I mean, there was a bunch of crazy people taking pictures and all that good stuff. So, I mean, it was, I mean, I didn't see nothing too crazy. I mean, people flying into bushes like they were Superman, but that's about it.
Reese Hawes, NBC 13 in Birmingham. A couple years ago, before the opener, you had some off-the-field issues you had to deal with. Obviously, you were able to overcome them. You're here today. You're one of the leaders of the team. What do you talk to Nick about, if you have that conversation with him, about dealing with it, learning from it, and still being one of the leaders of the football team?
I mean, obviously, you just, try to encourage, one of your brothers as he goes through hard times. And, that's what my teammates did for me in the past. And obviously, it'll probably end up being a positive life lesson like it was for me when I was going through some things as well. But, at the end of the day, you just got to be there for him as, he goes through these hard times.
In the front.
Hey, Sandy Hooper, USA Today Sports. What are your thoughts on your freshman teammates? Are there any that are standing out right now?
We don't get to work out with them. They work out at their own time, obviously, because they're not as prepared as we are. And I mean, the new offensive lineman we got, I know he looks like the Hulk. He's from Kansas, Braden Smith. He is a monster. But other than that, the other guys are, they're funny, and they just got there, so they love life, and they're just getting to college. So it's always good to see here. When camp rolls around, they won't be as excited. So, I mean, I think they're all, great young guys and, ready to, do whatever they got to do to help us win games.
Ben Bolton, WRBL Columbus. Have you ever been to Waffle House with Malzahn, and how much Waffle House can you eat?
I've not ever been there with him, but, I mean, usually I just get a wrap or something. I mean, I've gotten a couple cheeseburgers and a wrap there before, but I don't ever try to, get too greased up because you don't feel too good after.
Reese, what do you think of the new football playoff format? And now instead of a bowl game where you might get a month off and you play one game, it could be a little bit different. If you're fortunate enough to make it back to the championship game, that's back-to-back games in a pretty pressure-packed situation. What do you think of that whole thing?
I mean, I haven't really looked at, how it all works, but I'm sure it'll be interesting. Obviously, you'll probably, if you make it back that far, I mean, sometimes when you take a month off, you're, a little rusty when you go back out there, so that might make for a better game. But, I mean, I'm not really sure, how it all works. Our goal is just to win football games each and every day and, have a chance there and then to get to that.
Vanessa Casal, Bleacher Report. Talking about the playoff, which 4 teams do you think will be in it?
I got no idea. I mean, obviously you would like to hope that yourself is there, but, I mean, you can't plan on that. You just got to go out there and play game by game. I mean, hopefully it's 4 teams from the SEC, right?
In the back. Luke Simons, KX HD Sports over in Bryan College Station back here. Can you talk about the difference a year has made for this team of the struggles you had going into a new season and then turning it all the way around, and now I assume being excited to get back on the field and let's get back to where we were at the end of last season?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's football for you. I mean, one second a bunch of people love you and the next second they hate you and now they love you again. I mean, it's crazy, but I mean, it's been a fun ride, and I mean, it's crazy what a year makes. I mean, going from, the very bottom to the top is, pretty crazy. I mean, I don't know how to explain it.
Reese, can you talk about how you guys are dealing with the loss of Trey Mason at running back and what you guys are doing now to be able to run the football like you have in the past?
Oh, yeah, I mean, obviously Trey was a great player and, a huge key to our success last year, but, the coaches have done a great job bringing guys in, and, obviously Cameron Artis-Payne, Cap, he's back, and Corey Grant, he's back, and Peyton Barber, who I think redshirted last year, he had a pretty good spring, and, I mean, Coach Horton does a great job with the running backs, and, I'm sure there won't be, a big fall off, if any at all, there. I mean, this is Auburn, and, we've always had pretty good running backs. I think, they'll hold the weight.
Hey, CJ. CJ was talking about how funny Malzahn is. Do you have a funniest moment with Coach Malzahn?
Yeah, actually before the first series of the LSU game, he always backs up, and I was walking behind him, and it was raining, and he tripped and fell. So, I mean, none of y'all got that on TV, I don't think. And he was like, man, I hope they didn't get that on TV, because that would have been a not top 10 moment. But, I mean, he has all his little things that he does. I mean, he's, you know, a great guy and an awesome coach, but I mean, he's a pretty funny guy, too.
Offensive linemen usually don't get a lot of the pub. Greg Robinson's gone, but definitely one of the strengths of this unit on offense is the line. Talk about that unit, and that's really one of the areas why everybody's expecting some large numbers again this year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Greg's going to be hard to replace. He was a big man out there. I mean, he's a big kid, I can tell you that. But, I mean, obviously we got 4 guys coming back, and, you know, Coach J.B. Grimes, you know, he's, you know, I think the best O-line coach in the country, and he does a great job with us, and, you know, doesn't accept anything but the best, and, you know, is going to have us, you know, playing great football at the end of camp, and, you know, I expect nothing less than that. And, I mean, obviously when you got 4 guys coming back, you're expected to be pretty good. So hopefully we can, you know, just continue the trend around Auburn as far as offensive line goes.
John Wilson with KBTX TV. The way you guys won games last year and the success you've had, how much can that help as the program builds in the future?
I mean, obviously being in, you know, those kind of situations helps you prepare, you know, for anything that, you know, comes down the road, winning games the way we did last second. I mean, last drive, I mean, I think we won 5 games in the 4th quarter. I think that, you know, just boosts the confidence for your team, and, you know, helps you for whatever you run into in the future.
Dane Young, WRBL TV out of Columbus, Georgia. In light of Nick's incident, and then even UGA had a basketball player be arrested over the weekend, do you think there's a marijuana problem in the college athletics culture?
No. I mean, I think it's, you know, happens to be mistakes that, you know, normal 20-year-old kids make sometimes. I don't really think there's a problem.
We have time for a couple more questions.
Not sure how those cartoon cards on the sideline affect off. Do you look at them being the center and you call out? Are those things have anything to do with you? And what do you think of those things then? It's just a way of, I guess, designing a call into the offense.
I mean, honestly, I couldn't even tell you what those things do. But, I mean, I don't look at them. I think the quarterbacks look at them, and the running back and all the skill players. Nick just looks over there and tells us what to do. So, I mean, I have no idea, but I kind of like looking at Rick Ross and Kenny Powers sometimes. I mean, Kenny Powers is a funny guy.
Right here.
Reese, both you and CJ have mentioned Coach Russell and what he does physically in year 2. Do you see more improvement from guys even more than you did last year?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, Coach Russell is the driving force, you know, I think behind, you know, this actually program. And, you know, he gets after it pretty well. And, I mean, he's a great strength coach, and, you know, I'm happy we have him. And I mean, guys have, you know, really changed their bodies and, you know, mobility and all that good stuff. And, you know, he brings his A game every day. I don't think I've ever seen him have a bad day. And, you know, that's, you know, fun to come into, you know, and a guy you love working for.
Right here.
Steve Schneider, WAFB. CJ said Auburn players are brushing their teeth 13 seconds longer. Want to know how that's working out for you?
Yeah.
And the fact that last year we were talking about Auburn's offense and the speed and the time, just the culture of everything being on a time schedule.
Oh, yeah, I mean, our offense, I mean, we're just fast and that whole thing. But, I mean, the 13-second deal is, you know, you want to be 13 seconds better at everything you do. I mean, class and brushing your teeth, taking showers, I guess 13 seconds longer. I mean, I'm not really sure. You just want to be, you know, 13 seconds better at whatever you do. And, you know, that will, you know, maybe give us a chance to win games.
I know there's disappointment over letting down the program, maybe not winning the national championship. Is there also a feeling of maybe letting down the league, the first SEC team to not win a national championship in that game in the past 8 years?
I mean, I don't think we let down the league. Obviously, people can say that, but I mean, that was just, I think, a coincidence because this is the best league, and you know, you really rarely find teams that beat teams in this league because we're the best. And I mean, I don't feel that we let anyone down. I mean, we went out there and we, you know, gave it the best we got, and you know, it fell up short there then.
Unfinished business for you guys this year?
I mean, obviously, you know, we just want to beat Arkansas. That's the only thing we're thinking about. We're just trying to get better each and every day. And, you know, last year was a fun ride, but at the end of the day, that's, you know, just a stat in a book now. I mean, that's it.
Up front, you started as a freshman when Auburn last played South Carolina in 2011. What do you remember from that game, and what are your thoughts about playing them in October after a 2-year break?
That was a fun game. First SEC win on the road. I really like playing there. That's one of my favorite away stadiums. And, I mean, I remember Melvin Ingram was pretty good, and Clowney as well. You know, that was good to see those guys. And, I mean, I remember it was a fun game. I think we ran the ball all over them. I mean, I can't really remember. That was a lot of hits to the head ago. I mean, it was a long time ago.
Last question.
Reese, what's your favorite stadium to play in besides your own, and which one do you hate playing in?
I don't necessarily hate playing at any road, you know, stadium because that's always fun. I mean, Texas A&M was cool. LSU's cool. I mean, Bama's really cool. You know, they really hate you over there. But, I mean, that's about it. I mean, I like playing at all of them. Clemson's fun. I mean, they're all good. I mean, I can't really say that there's a bad one out there.